You, why do you make me see nothing but violence, trouble, strife? Nobody gets along, nobody acts right. You just sit there. You know, judges don't do right anymore. The law has become slack. Justice is perverted. Why don't you do something? That's what I said. That's how I pray. Don't you? I don't know any other way. Some of you looking at me like you have no idea who I am. That's fair. I always blamed it on my name. All these prophets you know, well, they got God's name as part of their name. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Joel, Micaiah, Obadiah, Zechariah, Zephaniah, even old Elijah. He got 2. And what did my mother name me? Habakkuk. She named me after a house plant, for Pete's sake. The Babylonians call it a hambakuku. I guess she thought it was cute. That every time I hear my name, it reminds me of those wretched Babylonians, as if God didn't remind me often enough. Because you want to know what dear old Yahweh told me when I laid out my complaints. By legitimate complaints, I will remind you. The Lord said, you just watch. I'm going to show you something. You're not going to believe it. I am rousing up those Chaldeans, those dreadful, fearsome folk from the east, the ones that love to just go take everybody's land from them. Yeah, they're mean. They're bad. You want to talk about justice? Their idea of justice is just take whatever they want. I guess the Lord could see the question marks all over my face, but he kept on talking. He said, yeah, they're wicked. They're bad. They worship themselves. Their might is their God. That make any sense to you? I know we got our problems, but they're a whole lot worse than we are, right? We all know the Babylonians are coming sooner or later, but we thought Yahweh would hold them off, not bring them on. And here you say you're going to take people worse than us and use them to punish us. How's that supposed to fit with what I was thinking about divine justice? Didn't fit very well. And I thought maybe I heard wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. So try it again. Now, Lord, aren't you the ancient one, the holy one, the eternal one, the rock on whom we can always depend, Don't you know you are too pure to look kindly on that kind of wickedness? You're too good to just see wicked people running all over your people. Why you just sit there in the heavens and watch. You're treating us like worms. We're like fish that get caught in a net or drug up with a hook, and somebody just swallows us down and laughs. What's that about? And you know what Yahweh said? Nothing. Nothing. Not one word. Just silence. Silence. But I couldn't stay silent. So I said, okay, Lord, look. I'm going to climb up on that wall. I'm going to find me a watch post. And I'm going to stand there at my post, and I'm not moving until you give me an answer. Sometimes desperation can make you bold. Sometimes it can make you stupid. So I climbed up on the wall, and I don't remember how long it was. Must not have been too long, or there'd have been a story about it. But God finally spoke. And he said, all right, you want a vision? Here it is. I want you to take this vision and write it down. Write it on tablets. Write it so clear that somebody running by can read it. Write it so plain that somebody who reads it will run and tell the news. There is an appointed time. Yeah, I'm going to make things right. That's the truth. There is a time. If you think it's long in coming, wait for it. Just wait for it. You can look at those proud people all around you. Yeah, they're going to get theirs, but that's not your problem. You wait for it. And while you're waiting, this is what you do. This is what you tell other people while you're waiting. The righteous, in their faithfulness, will keep on living. That's how I understood it. Righteous people keep living faithful lives. Even when it's hard, even when it's dark, even when them wicked Babylonians come, even when there's no justice in the land. If you're called to be God's people, you're called to keep living righteous lives. If you want justice, you work for justice. You don't just sit back and wait for God to do everything. Righteous, in their faithfulness, keep on living. I wrote it down as clear as day. V'tzadik ba'amunato yihya. Some people don't read Hebrew very well. And when those Greek-speaking scribes translated what I wrote several hundred years later, they must have got a copy that somebody had made a mistake on. Because what they wrote was some Greek version of the just will live by my faith. As if God's faith has anything to do with it. And then you know what happened when your hero Paul got a hold to it. More than once. He did cut out the my because he knew that didn't belong. But he wrote, the just shall live by faith, as if having faith is what makes you just, and that's all there is to it. That's not what I said. Now, I understand that in your new covenant theology, expressing faith in the Messiah helps bring you into a right relationship with God. I got no problem with that. I'm glad for that. But that's not where it stops. You know what happens. People hear that and they think, I just have some faith, or say I do, and then I'm justified, and then I'm good. And then I can go back to doing what I do. The whole reason God sent me that message was to make it clear that you can't just keep doing what you do. When we face hard times, when we face any times, the righteous are called to live faithful lives. There's a difference between faith and faithfulness. And if your faith doesn't lead to faithfulness, then maybe it wasn't faith at all. I think that's worth thinking about. Now, what does my fight with God, okay, yeah, I'm with Paul, have to do with you? You know, I'm not the only one that's seen suffering and misery and injustice. You know, the Israelites were not the only people to be oppressed, whether they deserved it or not. You've known suffering in your life. Some of you know what it is to live in a land where the color of your skin can put you in danger. A lot of you know what it is to struggle not just to get ahead, but to survive in a system that's so stacked in favor of the rich that poor folks don't have a chance. You know what it's like when you can't trust the courts to stand up for justice. So what do? If you want justice, you work for justice. The righteous, in their faithfulness, will keep on living. We are called to do what we want to see. The righteous in their faithfulness will live. Now, that word live, it sounds to me like a command. But I think it's also a promise. When your faith leads you to faithfulness, you found your way onto the path to life, a life that another prophet called abundant and eternal. So there you go. If you want a vision, there it is. If you want a way through the darkness, there it is. If you want life, there it is. The righteous, in their faithfulness, will keep on living. You just remember that, and you'll be all right.